Welcome to day 18, in which we're going to do frog pose. So in frog pose, you can start out like this, sitting on your feet, separating the legs wide, because we want to target the inner part of the legs. So you don't want to feel it in the knees, and you don't want to feel just a pull close to your pubic bone. You really want to feel the inner part of your thighs, so your adductor muscles. So for a lot of people, the bone onto the floor is not comfortable, it's painful, so you might need a blanket and fold it so that it's thick enough, giving you that support underneath so that you don't feel the knees on the floor. You might also need a bolster, so I'm grabbing the bolster or a pillow, but that depends. So I'm just going to show you from the side how you're going to play with the pose in search for the sensation in the inner thighs. So first we're going to go forward with the torso. And maybe here you already feel enough stimulation in the inner thighs. And if you cannot go all the way down, it might be nice to support yourself with a pillow and allow yourself to rest upon the pillow so that you can really let the opening happening in the inner thighs. If this is not yet giving you enough stimulation in the inner thighs, then you start to play with your hips, putting them more forward, backwards to see, okay, when do I feel that opening in my inner thighs? So please do not look at my body or compare it with yours, because my hip sockets are quite out to the side. So for me to come so low with my pelvis has to do with that. Yeah, it has nothing to do with if you do a lot of yoga that you eventually get this. I'm just lucky that my hip sockets are out to the side. So some, they are pointing forward more, so you're not able to go so wide and your pose looks like this, but you still feel in the inner thighs a stretch, then that's totally fine. That's what the idea is. So, and again, also then you can play with your hips forwards or backwards, and you can also play with the position of the feet. That also changes the sensation in the inner thigh, because it affects how the tilt of the pelvis is. And then when you feel your position, you can stay, and again, you can support yourself. But remember, you want to feel the whole inner thigh area, not just at the pubic bone. You don't want to feel any compression of the knee onto the floor. And then here you can again support yourself with a pillow, or you can lie all the way down. In my case, that kind of takes the stimulation away. So you can also create a back bend then in your back by coming up and creating kind of a seal frog here, or a sphinx frog, placing the hands underneath your chin. Or you can take it even further and actually go into seal variation. But you know, take it in the position where you feel the inner thighs enough. And for some, they cannot find the inner thighs. They keep on feeling it at the attachment. So then you can also straighten one leg out and focus on one leg. So for example, straightening the leg out like this, and now you focus more on the inside of the right thigh. That can also be a possibility. And then the last variation is up against the wall. So you do the same position with the legs. And you can place them wide apart and the feet against the wall. And then search for the position to be able to feel enough stimulation in the inner thighs. So again, nothing just at the pubic bone, the whole area of the inner thigh. And then here, allow yourself to completely let go. Feeling gravity pulling on your body. And it is in the inner thigh where the liver meridian runs. So especially if you're suffering from menstrual cramps or PMS, that is a really great area to stimulate. Or when you feel that you're stressed out and you need some calming, or you need to calm down, also stimulating the liver and the gallbladder is a very good thing to do. And again, allow yourself to be guided by what it is that you're feeling, instead of maybe putting a clock, sticking to the time of that you set. But allow yourself to go by what it is that you're feeling and then decide when it's time to come out of the pose. So here we're going to take 3 more breaths. Deep inhale, all the way down into the hips. And a long exhale out. One more deep breath in. And a long exhale out. You can even rub the inner thighs, especially if you're lying on the floor with your legs up against the wall. And then your last deep breath in. And exhale. So when you're against the wall, you help your legs with your arms to come closer. Don't use the muscles, because those are the muscles that you just have been stretching. And you straighten your legs up against the wall, and that's where you stay to feel the rebound. If you were in a frog position with your legs wide in any variation, then you walk back. You come into a wide-legged child's pose again, and just allow yourself to draw your legs closer in to come into a child's pose. And your arms can be anywhere that allow you to relax and to feel the rebound, to feel the effect of the pose. And you stay here as long as you need. If any questions arise of this pose or the variation, you can always leave a comment below the video, but for now, allow yourself to submerge into feeling.